Hi, welcome to Embody Her Emotion. Somewhere along the way, some of us became refined and educated at the expense of feeling free. We became polished, well-mannered, composed, appropriate. And yes, refinement is a beautiful thing. But when refinement becomes containment, what we lose is the ability to be wild, uninhibited, free. Today, I want to talk about how Samba helps women bring out their wild side again, their ability to be expressive and their ability to feel grounded and primal. So if you've been sleeping beauty all your life, maybe it's time to bring out a little Moana. Hi, I'm Ching Kao. I have a PhD in cognitive neuroscience from Stanford, a professional Latin ballroom dancer, owner of Firebeat Ballroom Studios in Boston, and Embody Her Emotion. So why is the primal side of us so hard to access now when that's something we were born with? Because as we go through society, we learn what are societal norms. You change the way you sit, you aren't too loud in public places. There's so many rules on how to behave. And refinement usually comes with containment in behavior. And in learning those rules, it is at the exchange of feeling grounded and raw and primal. And it's easy to lose touch with a very primal, goddess, earthy side of us. I'm going to take a detour here for a moment and relate that to dance. Dance, by nature, by design, was our first language. And it was our way of communicating, celebrating. It was our way of communing. It was for the masses. And as cultures became more and more refined, we started to have rules around dancing, certain technique, and people had to study to refine their dancing. And somewhere along the way, certain cultures have taught us that dance is now reserved for the elite few. You have to study to be a dancer. You master dancing. It is now on a stage, performed, produced. Meanwhile, the birthright for all of us to dance and express becomes farther and farther out of reach. The more we start buying in that dance is reserved for the select few. I am passionate about bringing dance back to its origin. It is about celebration and it's about communication and communion. But more importantly, dance is a relationship to ourselves and how we process and move through life. We can move grief out. We can move and dance anger out. We can bring forth joy through movement. We can amplify love through dance. So dance is about experiencing life on a very primal level. And Samba is one of my favorite ways of moving the refinement to the side and allowing the celebration of dance and the native parts of us to come back through. So what is Samba and why does it awaken that part of us? Samba is an Afro-Latin dance that originates from Africa and went to Brazil. It's now most commonly danced in Brazil as a carnival dance, as a celebration dance. You see the girls with the tassels and the feathers. But the origin of the movement is African by nature. But at the core of the movement, the DNA of the movement, it is universal across all tribal native dances. You are expressing the beat of the music in your feet and in your hips. I like to tell my students the contrast between the Latin dances versus the European court dances, the refined dances. The European court dances, waltz, foxtrot, tango, Viennese waltz, those dances express the melody of a song, the strings in your upper body. So it's very lyrical. Latin dances, Cuban dances, tribal dances, African dances, Polynesian dancing, from where I am in Taiwan, the Aboriginal dancing, they're all expressing the drum beat, the pulse, the beat in your hips and in your feet. That's root chakra. That's your relationship to earth and the physical world. And feet is where you literally connect to that. So when you listen to samba music, it's primarily a rhythm dance, the celebratory dance, one that is playful, but it's still very primal, which makes it an interesting tool for very heady, intellectual, high-functioning women. I'm in my office here. As you can see, I have dance, but I also have my very nerdy, geeked out books. I wish I had taped this in the ballroom. I wanted a more samba feel and less of a heady, intellectual feel for this video. But if you think about the 7 chakras, from your root all the way to third eye to crown, you are going from more root, grounded, to the more universal, ethereal. And for really, really heady women who are intellectual, who are in their minds, in their thoughts, I'm here in Boston where a lot of my students are scientists and professors and entrepreneurs. There's a very, very intellectual component to their life. And they don't have a lot of opportunity to be very expressive in their hips, in their root chakra, in their feet. And samba is a great conduit, a great way through movement to get out of your head, into your hips, into the primal parts of you. It is your birthright to move and express and not give a flying F how it looks and what other people think. It is that earthy, grounded feel that is opposite of refinement, rules, intellect. Samba is such a powerful tool to be able to get you more connected to yourself, how you experience your life in this physical form. So if you're interested in exploring a samba movement that is going to help you connect to your root, then check out my masterclass below. It's free. It's called the Meet Cute Masterclass, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be meeting 5 of your female Latin archetypes. We have samba, which we talked about, rooted, grounded. Then we have cha-cha. She's sassy, teasy, provocative. And then you have rumba. She is slinky and soft and supple and very, very seductive. Then you have paso. She's fierce. She is convicted and unwavering in her truth. And jive, she's perky, she's happy, and she's exuberant, just joyful and childlike. If you're curious about which of those 5 archetypes you most want to explore right now, I also have a really fun quiz. It's called Have You Met Her Quiz, and I'll put it down in the link below. And remember, none of this is about being somebody else. Embodied movement is using a movement library, an archetypal vibration, to bring out those facets within you. You have a birthright to be able to experience these things in the world, and these are just tools to help you experience them and pull them out. So, feel more, dance more, and I'll see you later.